What's up, y'all? It's Christmas week, and we are here. Fight Court, Dean Thomas, Ryan Quinn. We got a fun episode. Fun stuff happened over the weekend. I can't wait to get right into it. So let's get right into it. What do you want to talk about first? Let's talk Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua.
Yes, let's do that first. Let's
chop it up about them guys.
Yeah. All right. So cool fight. I don't. Everyone respect for Jake Paul. Everyone's saying I don't disrespect anybody who steps into the ring. I'm not gonna say that he's this heart and soul gladiator. He got paid what, $92 million, I think they're saying, and that was a big ring that he was taking advantage of for a long time. Again, Duke got caught. I think the most admirable thing of the whole fight was after he posts a picture on social media of his broken jaw and then says, "Canelo, you're next." I'm like, oh, dude, this guy is just, what a showman. Like his own broken jaw. I mean, I do give him credit. He had to take fights like this, but man, he made a lot of money. He made a lot of other people a lot of money. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't know if we're supposed to. I don't think anyone ever thought he was at the level of Anthony Joshua, and those right hands, man. And it's so funny too. Like that was the same right hand he knocked out Nagano with. Yeah, same thing. And it just, I got to go back and look at it again, but I wonder if that's just part of like the level that he's at that we are not. And I'm not even saying that. I'll say we, because I probably have similar striking to like a Jake Paul, probably even less. But yeah. So it was a fun fight. Jake got paid. A lot of other people got paid. I don't think that Jake did not take a step back here. I don't think it drops his stock at all. I think that, he went up a weight class. There's still some other crazy circus fights out there. What do you think?
I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at this. I haven't really settled on how I want to approach my opinion on this, because I think that part of it is like I can respect and appreciate what he's doing. Like he's really doing a lot for combat sports in terms of just creating opportunity, creating buzz, creating things like that. It's given, I mean, we're talking about it first on this show here. So without him doing it this weekend, we wouldn't be talking about it. So
bingo.
But on the other hand, him fighting Anthony Joshua, it's curious as to know whether he really thought he could win or not, because he didn't fight as if he thought he could win. He fought as if he tried to survive.
Yep.
And I understand that. I do. I totally understand that. So to me, it looked like he fought as if he was trying to survive and then maybe catch him with a big punch, and then he landed the right hand, and it didn't affect Anthony Joshua. And that's when he really panicked and broke down. So part of me goes, all right, if you're taking a fight that you don't really think that you can win, is there honor in that?
That's a good point. I don't know. You see, I've never gone into a fight thinking I was going to lose. So I don't, as a fighter, I don't think anyone well, no, you know what? I can't say that everyone I've trained with has felt. I feel like we do know people who have gone that. He's a boxer, but he's also a businessman. I think that he knew that this was part of the journey. Is there honor in it? Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get his jaw broken, how are we saying this?
I mean, there's for sure there's a threat of danger, and he could have gotten hurt. I mean, he did get hurt, but the honor in taking fights, like, it's almost, to me, when fighters win a title in the UFC and then their first step is, oh, I'm going to move up in weight and challenge the next weight class.
Yeah.
I find that less honorable than fighting the next guy.
Defend your crown. I'm with you.
Because when you move up in weight and you lose, you just go, oh, well, he's a heavier weight class. I tried it, whatever. I get what you're doing. But at the same time, there's still a built-in excuse when you lose. So like with Jake Paul losing this fight, he's supposed to lose. Like he went in thinking there's no pressure on me. The pressure's on him. There's no pressure on me. So to me,
it's a push.
To me, yeah, for sure. So yes, he got his jaw broke, that's the price you had to pay for a $92 million payday. But at the same time, is there real honor in going into a fight where there's no real pressure on you because you're expected to lose anyway?
Yeah, no, there's not. And I just, no, there's not. It was a business move. Positives came out of it. There's some other people on the card that look good. No, there's no honor in it. I just think it's a push move, like you said. So even like, what if he fights Canelo in 8 months, 10 months? Another push move. Now he's just fighting boxers again, but he can't go backwards now. So I wonder, now that we're here, is the Jake Paul era coming to an end? Because how's it going to go up? Because he has to fight these guys now, and what if he loses three in a row to three legitimate retired-ish boxers? Nobody's going to care about who he fights next. Nobody wants to see him fight like an A Diaz or anything like that again, or even a George Masvidal, because then everyone knows that it's not the mystique is gone or whatever. So I think that the Jake Paul era is closing in on it. It's coming to an end.
But he's crafty, man. He's a crafty businessman, and
Mhm.
these guys that are crafty like that, just when you think that they've run out of options, they hit you with something else.
Well, I mean, Jake Paul, the character, I think. Like I'm not saying like it's over. I'm saying like three fights out, which could probably be this time next year. Well, no, probably even 18, 12, 24 months given he's broken his jaw. But now he's got a very stable promotion. They have this Netflix deal. So he's built something with his own to his own bodily sacrifice. So I just think that the actual Jake Paul is the thing that's coming to an end. But they're gonna land forward. They're gonna fall forward with it.
Yeah, I actually can see a Canelo Alvarez fight.
Yep.
I can see that happening. I can also see a
Hmm.
Floyd Mayweather fight happening. I could see a bunch of different scenarios in which
I
he's fighting guys
didn't think about Floyd. Yeah.
that are just again being able to fall forward. That's essentially what I'm getting at in terms of like honor. It's one thing to fall forward, but it's another thing to position yourself to where you can't fall backwards, that
Yep.
you only fall forward. So
Yep.
that's to me that's but again, like I don't want to knock his hustle because he's brought a lot of attention to things and he obviously took one for the team getting his jaw broke by
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua. So and he made Anthony Joshua a lot of money. So but outside of that, it's just I mean, he's a good enough everybody's like oh, fixed fights. I hate the idea of these like just because you can't explain what happened doesn't mean a fight was fixed. I mean, so
I
these
agree.
guys that come off with these stupid theories that fights are fixed, it's like Jake Paul's a solid athlete. He's fast. He's got faster feet. He was smaller than Anthony Joshua, which made his target a little harder to hit, especially on a moving target. And we all know that it's so difficult to fight somebody who's not trying to fight you back, and especially is a bit awkward. It's like when that guy comes into the gym for the first time and he's so awkward, you're like, oh, this is awkward. And I'm sure
Yep.
that's what Anthony Joshua experienced in them first couple of rounds, like this awkward movement from Jake Paul that just made it very difficult for him to track. And he knew he was going to eventually catch up to him. And when he did, we saw what happened. So, yeah, the idea that Jake, and I know that Jake, I mean, I can't speak for any other fight other than what I saw on Saturday night, and then the second Tyron Woodley fight. Like Tyron Woodley really went out to fight Jake Paul. It was no setup, no fake, no, took a dive, none of that. Like
Mhm.
I know Tyron, and I know what we had set out to do when he fought Jake Paul the second time. Jake just knocked him out. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm. You talked to Tyron after the fight at all?
I did, man. I spoke to him immediately after the fight with
Okay.
Anderson Silva because I had sent him a message earlier in the day, and a couple hours after the fight, he sends me a message back, goes, man, I wish I read this before.
Oh man, what was that
Yeah,
text?
and it was just because I said, man, listen, I sent him a message that said, man, use your movement and just bomb on this dude.
Yeah.
Use your movement and just bomb. Like you got, so everybody's like, Anderson still got it. He's 50. Let's make no mistake about it. Anderson still does have it, but
Yeah.
let's not act like Tyron's not 43 and found out about this 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
I
go
like
ahead.
what you said about like just start bombing on 'em. There's something to be said about doubling down on what you're good at. And if somebody like Tyron could do that, it's fucking scary. So Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like let's like in Rocky 6, let's start building those hurting bombs. Like that's what it is. 3 weeks ago, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do what I'm good at, and that's it. Yeah.
If I was Tyron finding out about this 3 weeks, because like Tyron probably couldn't beat Anderson, regard, you know what I'm saying? Just like
It was a
Anderson's
boxing
longer,
match.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's longer, he's possibly a
Bigger.
better boxer. So if I'm Tyron, I'm just going, all right, you know what? I found out about this 3 weeks ago. I'm just going to get in as good as like anaerobic shape as I possibly can
Mm-hmm.
and just bomb on you for as long as I can. And if I get tired, just take a knee.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to outbox Anderson Silva. I'm just going out there and just throwing haymakers, obviously with my hands up and chin down, but I'm just trying to get in his chest and bang him up, turn it into a real fight.
Yep.
And I think Tyron, the fact that he just backed himself into a fence, obviously, like that's Tyron's default setting to
Yep.
do that, and that kicked
Yeah.
in. But I wish he had had better instinct to just be like, yo, don't just treat this like a street fight, man. Just go out there and just slug, just throw hammers at this dude, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Just throw hammers.
Yeah. I think that was the call. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously. But yeah, I think that was the call. Um, does Tyron still train like with his team or anything like that, or like what does Tyron do?
Dude was in London for a month filming a movie when he found out about this.
I got you. I got you.
So it's not like he was training and he was
Yeah.
prepared for it. So and I'm not trying to take away from Anderson's win. I'm just saying
No, I know
let's
exactly what
not
you're
act like
saying.
Tyron, you know,
Yeah.
isn't also 43 years old and came off the couch.
Tyron did Anderson a favor taking that fight.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
But yeah, and I'm not sure that like Tyron could have won the fight anyway, but it didn't have to look like that.
Mm-hmm.
He could have, I would have just been like pure offense. Just go pure offense and just tire yourself out and just put it on an exciting fight and
Yep.
just don't give it to him. But
Yeah.
um,
I think that was the play too. I didn't watch the rest of the card. I was flipping back and forth. There was college football on. Anything else good happen on the card? Were
uh,
you there? Or was it Miami?
it was in Miami. I wasn't there. I was watching. I was on the couch watching, and I tried to watch the Alicia Baumgardner,
Uh,
Layla Bodwin
mm-hmm.
fight, and I couldn't watch. And it's again, this is absolutely nothing to do with like women or whatever. It's just like boxing to me is just like it's so it can get pretty boring
It
if
gets
it's
pretty
not like
repetitive. It gets
yeah.
pretty repetitive. Yeah. It's just the way we're wired, I guess. Yeah, it
Yeah,
gets
when you're
pretty
when you're
repetitive.
wired to like seeing takedowns and elbows coming at you, and then like you're just watching like especially like when they're trying to be really tactical, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is
10, 12 rounds of that too.
yeah, it's
It's
just
a
like
lot.
starts to get
It's a lot.
hard to watch. So I'm just like, all right, turn this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't watch anything else on the card though.
Well, I guess the other highlight was a fight at that event that did not happen in the ring, and that was with Andrei Arlovski and this Doherty kid. I forgot his name. I'm actually surprised something like that hasn't happened sooner, uh, with all the Jake Paul promotions going on. I what are they doing? Like who
Did
what,
they clearly they did not know who he was,
yeah,
or either they knew who he was and targeted him, one or the other. But to me, I'm assuming they didn't know who he was and just was trying to
Mhm.
thought that they were God's gift to the world as influencers.
That's what's wrong with this generation. How you just show up and mess with people? And it's funny. Their bodyguard was like getting fried on social media because you could see this dude just did not want to be in that situation. This dude was probably a little bit older. He probably knew who Andre was. And you could tell he was like, let me swing.
That was the bodyguard, right?
That's what they were saying was the
Oh
bodyguard.
man,
Let me just swing just so I could say I did something. But like, I mean, Andre,
yeah,
he's a good dude, but he has no tolerance for bullshit, like
yeah.
at all. And it was like, and I, I remember when I would do strength and conditioning with Andre, like we would do strength and conditioning while the kids' classes were going on. I remember like one time, I just want to say like he's a good dude. He just has no tolerance for bullshit. One time the kids were watching him pull a sled and he was like on all fours and they're all like, and they're looking at this hairy dude pulling the sled, but they're, he's an intimidating figure. So he just looks at me and goes, like just messing with the kids. Every time he went by, he did that, and the kids got a kick out of it. So like, he's a good dude, but don't mess with him, man. Especially, and don't mess with anybody like that, but especially ex-UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski.
So I had a couple different things on this because like I remember. So Andre, to me, my very first fight in the UFC,
Uh-huh.
June 29th, 2001, in the Meadowlands in New Jersey against BJ Penn. My very first UFC fight. Andrei Arlovski was on that card. It was his second fight in the UFC. So we go way back, you know what I'm saying? So I've
Mhm.
been familiar with him for years. And we go back so far, but I've never really had like a decent conversation with him because he's always been such an intimidating and imposing figure, right? Like you get that impression when you see him. He's just like, it's kind of intimidating. He's a good dude, but he's intimidating. So I
Very.
never really had a conversation with him until like a year ago, and probably not even a year ago. We happened to be on the same flight to Vegas from Fort Lauderdale. And we had like a decent conversation. And I was like, all these years, man, I didn't realize he was such a good dude. Like just a normal good dude.
Like one time I remember we're doing strength and conditioning, and he started like he brought up football, and I was like kind of being short with him, and then he's like, "Who's your favorite team?" The Jets. They suck, don't they? And then I'm like, "Wait, he's trying to talk to me." Like like it was,
Yeah,
and
he's
we've
trying to
been in the room for
connect.
a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It was
he's
like,
connecting.
yeah, and I just know of so many times where like, as far as like there's young dudes in the gym and shit, and they're busting his chops and don't fucking bust my balls. Like, but then he'll like look over and he'll like wink at somebody. Like, it's just he realizes how he comes off and he's able to joke about it. But
Well,
don't mess with him.
yeah, and I felt bad for him in this situation because you could tell
Mhm.
that he was completely unprepared for
Yeah,
this.
he was with a
Like
girl.
he's like on his phone, and then he's
Yeah.
like fighting these kids out. Like he handled his business. I give him that. He
Hmm.
handled his business to the best of his ability, but you could just see that he was unprepared. And I'm a psychopath when it comes to the stuff like this. So like I had replayed this situation in my mind as if
Yeah, yeah.
like a million times, as if like I had to be like I was like walking by and I saw these kids picking on Andrei Arlovski. Like
I
how
did too.
did you really like how I would have jumped in and been like,
Yeah.
dog, UFC Hall of Famer, I can't let you do this.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you gotta as a fighter, it's code.
Yeah.
I played. So here's what I played. Andre's got the first guy. The second guy comes over and tries to get involved. I'm shoving the second guy against the wall. Like that's my part. Like I played the same thing. You're not doing that. I couldn't sit back. A teammate and a UFC legend. I can't
Yeah,
sit back.
I
Yeah.
can't let you do this, man.
I'm not gonna hurt the
This
kids,
guy,
but
this guy is
yeah,
this guy is MMA royalty, UFC
yeah.
royalty. You can't, and the fact that these kids have access to try to bully him.
Hmm.
It sounds weird, but these dudes are just picking on him and kind of just targeting him for whatever reason. Man, I was like, yo, I wish I was there. Like, yo, I wish I was there because I would have been throwing hands.
And we have to point out how big of punks they are. I was waiting for this too. I made sure to watch the whole video. Right at the end, you see that they're clearly separated with like 30 people in between them, maybe 30, 40 feet in between them. And then this comes like it's like, oh, get out of here with your bullshit, man. Like smack these kids in the face.
I'm curious as to know, like, if they did not know who he was. I'm sure moments after it happened, when that video surfaced,
Mhm.
when they found out that he was a former UFC heavyweight champion, I wonder what their reaction was.
I bet they die with the ship. I don't know who he was.
Yeah, I bet they were. Well, I'm sure that the bodyguard was like, "Thank God it didn't get any,
Yeah, yeah.
it didn't get any worse than it was because the bodyguard couldn't have been. If Andre wasn't prepared, the bodyguard certainly wasn't prepared to deal with Andre."
So I started laughing like the third or fourth time I watched it because Andre, he just went into competition mode where he throws a combination and he threw a knee up the middle. I was like, dude,
Yeah, yeah,
this is so good.
right. And he
Ugh.
like I don't know, man. I just felt really bad for Andre.
Yeah.
The fact
I
that
mean,
like he's
he
on his
shook it off.
phone, probably like minding his business. These kids
Yeah.
like to push him as he's walking
Yeah.
by. Like, yo, what's wrong with these dudes, man?
And people forget he's been to hundreds of fights over the last 25, 30 years. Like there's certain etiquette that people just have backstage that they didn't respect.
Yeah,
And screw these kids. Yeah.
man, we got to start teaching them a lesson. That's the
Yeah,
bottom line is
they got off easy.
these influencers, man, they're trying to get
You're in our
clickbait.
world now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got to learn a lesson, man.
Mhm.
I'm not playing with these dudes, man.
Yeah, you're in our world when you're coming to this. Go do your
Yeah,
shit elsewhere. You're gonna get smacked.
yeah. I might start stinging dudes if they.
They deserve it.
You want
I got your
clicks?
back.
I give you. You want clicks?
Yeah.
I give you a click.
Click this. Click
Yeah.
these. So speaking of influencers, um, Andrew Tate had a lackluster performance last night. I don't even remember the opponent's name. Did you see any of that?
Chase the more. I saw the highlights of it, man, and I read the description, and then I saw the highlights, and well, clips. I don't even want to call them highlights. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say just like bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it looked about as bad. I thought Tate was better. I thought he should have been. Apparently, from what I read, that he won the first couple of rounds and then just got tired. But that's still a situation where you should be better.
Yeah.
Like it's only
Uh,
6 rounds, and if you in shape and you prepared for this, like be better.
I was not surprised that that would happen. And you know this too. Like he was posting videos like beating up some kids like that clearly were not like training videos, sparring
Yeah,
videos.
yeah,
You know the real ones don't post those videos. They don't
right,
care to. That you go
right.
watch their highlight reels from past fights. And watching that and like I remember I've actually I tried to look up some stuff from him. I know that he has some fight experience. I didn't catch anything that he was like a top shelf fighter, like from what I've seen. I mean, it's very easy to get lost in the shuffle in kickboxing, especially back then. In ISK, I fought at ISK events, and like, there's you could like it's like a la carte with the rules you want to pick.
Yeah, it is.
So
You're right.
yeah, actually, I remember I fought at an ISK event, and a dude threw a knee up the middle, and I go to the ref, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" He goes, "Oh, it's Muay Thai." I'm like, "News to me." Like I thought I was in a kickboxing fight, but so what I'm getting at is, he posted that video, then he comes into this fight, and he tried saying, "Oh, I was rusty and everything." When someone's rusty, usually you see they're a little bit slower, their resets slower, um, sometimes range of mobility a little off, and yeah, like you can get tired, I guess, sometimes. But when it came to him in that fight, elbows out, chin in the air when he's striking, resetting at his hips. So these skills, it doesn't look like he lost those skills or they were dusty. It looked like he had never had them developed. It looked
Yeah.
like that they just were not there. And he had a padded record and it did well for his whatever he's doing. I just don't think he was ever on the level. I'm very confident. I was watching that. I'm very confident that if I had monitored, observed shadow boxing for 6 weeks, I could beat both those gentlemen. Um, yeah. Anyway, what do you think about it?
I I'm just disappointed, man, because I'm disappointed in him not losing, but
Hmm.
just him not being prepared and doing better.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed because he's a guy who's obviously a polarizing figure, but he actually says some stuff that makes you think every once in a while.
Yep.
And he's obviously very clever and he's intelligent and he says
Hmm.
some things and but you got to practice what you preach, live
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me
Yeah.
the fact that like he's in a fist fight, he's in a fight in public. This is a public display in which people paid money for and you're not fully prepared.
Yep.
And that's disappointing to me because now all the stuff that you said about how to live your life
Hmm.
to me is questionable because you wasn't prepared for a moment that you're supposed to be prepared for.
Absolutely. Yep. And he tried backtracking. Oh, I wanted to see if I still had it. Like, I don't think he did to maybe he just didn't realize just Some fighters don't sometimes. Athletes don't realize how high the level is, and maybe that could be what it is as
Well,
well.
I mean, he wasn't fighting a high level guy. The
No,
moment may have been high,
no.
but he's not fighting a high level guy. But but that's but I mean, here's a guy who, like you said, the padded record. His record in kickboxing was like 70 something and 9. So if you had 80 kickboxing matches, like when you start getting tired, defense,
Yeah.
defense mode,
Mm-hmm.
posture properly, stay in position, go in defense, but don't come out of form and start throwing sloppy punches. Like
Yeah.
that's not like that's it. It's things like that, man. It just make me go, man, I can't trust you no more.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. That's why I'm saying I don't think that the skill was ever there. There's just certain thing like couldn't even tie his shoes. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, like it's just you go, when you have these moments, like I said, he says a lot. Like he says, I don't agree with everything that he says, but
Mm-hmm.
every once in a while he'll say something. And I go, man, that's pretty profound. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you say stuff like that and then you perform like this, it's like you don't practice what you preach,
Yep.
and it makes me start to not trust him. And now I can't really listen to him no more.
I'm in the same boat. I
The
I
benefit of the
was
doubt.
I mean I've definitely heard some things that he said that I found profound. However, I'm with you. I just don't like actually I know the one thing that I like that he said. He brought up about like paying with a credit card. If you pay with a credit card $20 and then they're taxing $3 for using it, and then it's going back and you keep taxing $3 and then that money's erased. That's why cash is. I'm like, yeah, okay, shit like that, like that's profound. I could see that. But even stuff like I don't want to listen to that anymore. Like if I heard that in 6 months from now or even tomorrow from him, it's like, dude, this guy, he just Google shit and puts it together because like I
Right.
don't know,
Well, that's so here's my thing. Here's my thing with
maybe.
combat sports is that you will learn the truth about a person in a fight situation where they feel threatened and they have to defend themselves. You'll learn about a person. And
Yep.
again, win or lose, it doesn't matter to me. Win or lose doesn't matter, but how you respond and how you react to it. And just like his reaction and the way he responded to this moment to me just lets me know that, like, man, maybe you full of shit. Like you said, you just Googling stuff and you just AI and stuff, and that's where all this is coming from. But the true the core and the essence of you full of shit. Because when the curtain got pulled back and you was exposed to be the man that you say you are, you couldn't be that man because you was out there slopping around.
Yep. He didn't put the work in for this, and oh well, people that are worth $700 million, they don't do this stuff. It's like, well, then you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, don't do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't, dude. It's that simple. Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't do it and then say you should. The people don't do it. But don't do it then.
Yeah. I see
I
why they
get it.
don't do it.
Yeah, that's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
But don't act like you the man and then not be the man. So the quote was, and Malcolm what's his name? I keep thinking Malcolm Wellmaker, but that's not who it is. Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee said it on this show. I had him repeat it on this show from what Andrei Ware was saying is be who you need to be when it's time to be him.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
Hmm.
yeah, be who you need to be when it's time to be him. And Marcus McGee said that right here on this show. It was a quote from Andrei Ware. And he wasn't who he needed to be when it was time to be him. And that disappoints me because um he has a lot of influence. That disappoints me.
I think that I hope this shows a lot of people though, like how difficult combat sports is. Personally, I think that people should fight more, like in a sanctioned setting or an agreed upon setting. I think that they would learn a lot about themselves and they would learn to respect other people. It goes back to everyone should do martial arts, but it just shows that like we just don't know about people. That social media has given us, like Mike Tyson says, people could say things and not get punched in the mouth for it. That people could put the fake life on social media, and when it comes down to it, what are they for real? And when the chips are down.
Well, it's like South Korea. Like in South Korea, like you have to do time in the military. Like you
Yeah,
have to. I think everybody should have to have at least a fight in the public eye.
1000%.
Like you should
Yeah.
have to have a fight. Like
Mm,
you have to go, and it can't be like a spontaneous, like in the street. It has to be you prepare, You show up, you got to deal with the waiting around all day. You got
Yeah.
to deal with the walker. You got to deal with all
Mhm.
that. Then you got to get in there and then boom, perform for us. Dance.
I just had I just had PTSD of being a curtain jerk fight. My first fight for Bellator, I was told I was going on right before the main card, and then 5 minutes before, no, we're gonna put you on after the main card. Like, they got to all deal with that bullshit.
Oh, that is, I mean, it's not, it's such a, I mean, it really exposes you. It really
Yeah.
does. You feel who you learn who
Mm.
you are. You're so raw in those moments. And but you're right, man. Like everybody should have to go through it at least once.
I've said this on here before. I feel our politicians like they have the police academy, police first fire department in boxing. They should do that with our politicians. You'd be surprised about how much work we get done when it's because like we've said, like after every fight, oh, I hated this guy, and now you know what? We're gonna train together. Everything's great. Imagine these politicians want to start working together after they beat the shit out of each other. Like, I,
The world, yeah, the world will be a much better place if we were allowed to do this. Like if
yes.
honestly, like if you could solve problems by like fist fighting in front of other people, like the world would probably be a better place. You wouldn't, people wouldn't have problems. They
Let's
would
not
learn
go to
to,
war.
yeah,
Let's have a fight.
they would learn to solve their problems amicably,
Mhm.
then as opposed to like, because after a couple of times you got your ass whooped, you'd be like,
Yep.
"Ah, you know what, man, there's a better way."
Exactly. You're either two things. You're either going to respect an ass whooping or you're going to or what was it? It's like what was I going to say? You're either going to like respect an ass whooping as far as not getting one and not giving one. Like it's just not worth it. Like it's
Yeah.
like yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Mhm.
sure, for
Mhm.
sure. So any plans for the holidays, my man?
We are getting dinner on the beach on Christmas Eve and laying low. We're not doing anything crazy. I just finished up my Christmas shopping this morning. The fancy fellows at the makeup shop helped me get my wife's stocking stuffers. So we're all good. What about you?
Nothing actually. I don't think I'm doing any. Actually, I'm flying to uh Philly Christmas
Nice.
night, and then because I'm working the CFFC BJJ card next weekend,
Cool.
and then from there I'm headed to Japan on Sunday.
What's in Japan?
Rising. I'm going to Rising. I'm going with
Oh, I
Shorty
didn't know that.
Torres. I'm cornering Shorty Torres in Rising. I haven't been to Japan in since I retired, actually. So I actually wrote my retirement
Cool.
note on New Year's Eve on the floor of the hotel in Japan in 2013, turning 2014.
Wow.
So that's the last
Cool.
time I've been. So I'm going to Japan next weekend or
Tell
next week.
Shorty I said hi. Tell Shorty
Yeah.
I said hi. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll get a guest speaker for next Sunday then. I'll
Well,
see.
I think I can still do the show.
Okay.
I hope. If not, then we'll have
Yeah, we'll
to
figure it out.
come
We'll
up with
figure
a
it out.
plan. But I think I can still do the show. But
We'll figure
outside
it
of
out.
that, man, everything is good. Everything is life. I hope that everybody has a safe holiday. And if you celebrate whatever you celebrate, whether it's Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, I hope that it's safe and I hope that you spend it with the people that you love because that's the most important thing in the world is
Absolutely.
just spending time and having good, positive relationships with people you love. So
Yes.
that's my
Happy holidays.
yeah, that's my positivity. Happy holidays. And on that note, well,
Thank
if
you
you
for
enjoy,
supporting us, real
yeah,
quick. Thank you for supporting us, guys. This was a big growth year for us, and next year is going to be even better. I know that sounds like cliche shit, but it really was. Thank you.
so if you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. On that note, this court is adjourned.